Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tackling one of the most frustrating medical mysteries out there. We're talking about why you might be dealing with agonizing nerve pain, numbness, and tingling, even when your doctor looks at your blood work and tells you, that you're perfectly healthy. It's a massive disconnect, and we're going to bridge that gap right now.
So it's totally maddening, right? Why on earth are your nerves dying if your standard blood tests look completely normal? Well, the shocking truth is that elevated vitamin levels in your bloodstream are actually a disguise. They're masking a deep, profound state of starvation at the cellular level. Misunderstanding this illusion is literally one of the biggest blind spots in modern medicine. And it's exactly why so many people are stuck in this cycle of chronic pain despite swallowing handfuls of supplements every single day.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll decode the nerve damage mystery, figure out why multivitamins often fail, uncover the magnesium serum blind spot, go through 9 hidden warning signs, look at choosing effective B vitamins, and wrap up with a 5-step recovery protocol.
All right, part 1, the nerve damage mystery. Let's look at what's actually happening inside your body.
To make sense of your persistent symptoms, we really have to understand something called the cellular processing blockade. Think of your bloodstream like a massive highway, and your cells like the grocery stores. If the unloading docks at those stores are broken, the delivery trucks, or in our case, unmetabolized vitamin compounds, just pile up on the highway. Because they can't get inside the cells where they're desperately needed, they just float freely in your blood, actively irritating and inflaming your nervous system instead of healing it. Moving right along to part 2, why standard multivitamins often completely fail us. There's a stark contrast between what you grab off a cheap drugstore shelf and what your body actually uses. Standard synthetic vitamins are biologically inactive. They demand perfect liver function just to be converted into something useful. Take cyanocobalamin, for example. It's a cheap synthetic B12. It literally has a microscopic cyanide molecule attached to it that your body has to work overtime to detoxify. Now compare that to the active forms on the right, like methylcobalamin. Your starving nerves can absorb and use those the very second they enter your system with zero extra stress on your organs. This is exactly where doctors often miss the mark. Because those inactive synthetic vitamins can't get into the cells, they just back up in your blood. And that drives your lab scores sky high, creating this dangerous illusion on paper that you are perfectly healthy. But intracellularly, meaning inside the actual nerve cells, you are completely bankrupt. You look amazing on a spreadsheet, but your nervous system is essentially starving to death. And to make matters even worse, if you have a genetic quirk like the common MTHFR mutation, or if you're dealing with insulin resistance, your body's methylation process breaks down. Methylation is basically the biochemical key that unlocks the cell door. Without it, those synthetic vitamins fail to reach the protective myelin sheath around your nerves. Instead, they jam up the cellular receptors like a broken key in a lock. That triggers the exact structural nerve decay we're trying to fix in the first place. Which brings us to part 3, the massive magnesium serum blind spot. Get a load of this staggering biological fact. Only 0.3% of your body's total magnesium reserves actually circulate in your blood serum. That is less than 1%. The other 99.7% is locked away deep inside your cells in your bones. So if your doctor is only using a standard blood draw to check your magnesium, they are looking in the completely wrong place. I absolutely love this analogy from the source material because it hits the nail on the head. Evaluating your mineral status using standard blood work is exactly like judging someone's total financial wealth by just counting the loose change in their pocket, while completely ignoring the fact that their main bank account is entirely empty. Your serum blood tests might look incredibly rich, but your cellular bank account is totally bankrupt, and that leads to massive systemic breakdowns. And here's the thing. You can't fix this cellular bankruptcy with standard supplements like magnesium oxide. Sure, it's cheap and heavily prescribed, but it has a dismal absorption rate of just 3%. It basically just sits there and irritates your gut. To actually penetrate the cell wall, you've got to use organic chelates, like magnesium glycinate. This form completely bypasses those competitive mineral channels in the gut, hitting an exceptional absorption rate of up to 80%, which finally delivers relief right to your frantic nervous system. Okay. Part 4, 9 hidden warning signs that your cells are actually starving. Magnesium is basically the brakes for your central nervous system. Without it, well, your brain loses its brakes, and you'll start experiencing these intense neurological warnings. We're talking sudden, unprovoked panic attacks, that dreaded 2 a.m. circadian awakening where a massive cortisol spike snaps you wide awake. You might also notice ocular tetany, that super annoying twitching in your eyelids, along with vascular rigidity and just absolute cognitive exhaustion. And the warning signs bleed right over into your metabolic systems, too. When your mitochondria, those microscopic energy factories in your cells, are starved of magnesium, they panic. This triggers intense, uncontrollable cravings for carbs and sugar because your body is desperate for quick energy. It can cause chest tightness that actually mimics cardiac distress, that frustrating wired but tired insomnia with restless legs, and this profound sensation of physical heaviness. It literally feels like you're trudging through thick mud just to move. All right, part 5, choosing effective B vitamins that can actually reach the nerve. Recognizing the signs is step 1, sure, but how do we successfully deliver the right nutrients into the dense, fatty lipid barriers that insulate our nerve fibers? Standard vitamins just bounce right off. We have to use fat-soluble, bioavailable forms. That means swapping standard thiamine for benfotiamine for deep cellular energy. It means ditching synthetic pyridoxine for the active P5P form of B6. And we have to replace that toxic cyanocobalamin with methylcobalamin to repair the myelin sheath. These bioavailable forms are your master keys. And when you pair that fat-soluble benfotiamine with alpha-lipoic acid, or ALA, it's an absolute game changer. You create this incredibly powerful dual-soluble defense team. Their main job is to sweep through and halt advanced glycation end products. These are basically sticky, destructive sugar structures that act like plaque, clogging up your microvascular networks and suffocating your nerve endings. This combination acts like a targeted cleanup crew, clearing that toxic backup out of your system for good. Finally, part 6. The 5-step recovery protocol to fix this whole metabolic blockade once and for all. Let's put all this biochemistry into a concrete action plan for fast nerve recovery. Step 1. Switch exclusively to active vitamin cofactors like P5P and benfotiamine to get those synthetic imposters out of your blood. Step 2. Implement fractional mineral dosing, meaning take smaller amounts of magnesium glycinate multiple times a day so your cells can steadily absorb it. Step 3. Correct your stomach acid with betaine HCl so you can actually break down incoming minerals. Step 4. Support your bile flow with fermented foods to absorb those fat-soluble nutrients. And Step 5. Stabilize your baseline insulin through low-carb eating and fasting. That last one entirely removes the metabolic blockade, preventing your healing. So are you ready to stop chasing false lab results and finally audit your true cellular bank account? If you take away anything today, let it be this. True healing is not about measuring what's floating aimlessly in your bloodstream. It is entirely about what you can successfully deliver inside the cell. Give your nerves the bioavailable keys they are starving for. Clear out that blockade and watch your nervous system finally start to regenerate.